Hey YouTube, got another video review for you today. This one is from a company by the name of Fanimation, and I have several other videos from this company, and they just have some of the best looking fans, and they're energy efficient. They have the remote controls. They have the fan sync where you can control them with your phone. I mean, there's just so many features packed into a fan. I couldn't believe it when I got the first one. The first one that I had was the Blitz fan, and I mean this one here that I'm about to review is no different. This one is the Odyn, or the Odyn. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It's the Odyn Custom. And the reason they call it the Custom is because it comes in several different finishes. It comes in a brushed nickel, a black, a dark bronze, a matte white, and a matte gray, beige looking color. And comes in all the different finishes and colors. Plus, it also comes in different size blade lengths. The one that I'm going to be installing is the 56 inch, but they also have it with a 64 and 72 inch blades. So this can be a normal size fan, or it can be a really huge fan. So that's where they get the custom name from. And so they did some testing with this fan with the 72 inch blades on it, and it only used 28 watts of power, which is ridiculous. It's Energy Star rated, and if you look at some of the other different fans from other manufacturers, just check and see how much wattage they use. I guarantee it's not going to be as low as 28 watts. That's really, really, really low, and that's just for the fan part. Now the LED light adds another 18 watts of power if you have it turned on. So 18 watts is really nothing for as bright as it is. But back to the fan. As far as when they tested this fan with the 72 inch blades, it put out 8,198 cubic feet of airflow. So this thing really puts out the air, and trust me, I've got several fans in my house, and you can see this one here in my living room. I believe it's a 62 inch fan. You can look at the reviews, or my other video review on my channel, and it'll tell you all about this one. And then I'm going to show you the one here in my bedroom. This is the Blitz fan. That's the first one that I got. And then this one here, I can't remember the name of them. They all have so many different names. I just wanted to run you through and show you the different fans. They're all made by Fanimation. You can check out my other videos. I'll try to link them. And then this is the last of the ugly fans that's left in my house. This is just an old builder's grade looking fan that might have cost them 20-30 bucks back in the day, and it just looks horrible. And so I have black furniture in the bedroom. Sorry, the bed's a mess, but you can see I have like some black sewing tables that I converted over to nightstands, and so I wanted a black fan in here to match everything. And so I wanted to go ahead and pull this one down. And these old fans, they use a lot of power. They have the old style bulbs, and yeah, you can change them out to LED, and it helps, but the fan still uses quite a bit of power, and so that's why I wanted to switch it out. All right, so I wanted to switch the one out in the bedroom with this the Odyn Custom, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. It is a 6-speed fan. It's a DC motor, so it's going to have a lot more power than some of your other AC type motors. And it has a remote that it comes with, and on that remote control you can reverse the direction of the fan on the remote, so you don't have to get on a ladder to get up to the side of the fan and hit the button like you do with most fans. And so that is helpful. And again, I said it had an LED light kit in it a while ago that uses 18 watts of power. But you know, another advantage of the LED is you don't have to change the light bulbs. They last a long time, and so they're really efficient. 18 watts is really nothing compared to the fan that was in my bedroom. It was using like 4 50, 60 watt light bulbs, and so you know, that's quite a bit of power compared to 18 watts. So anyways, that is an advantage. You're definitely going to notice some energy savings if you replace all your fans. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention is that the color of the LED light is like a 3000K type color. So I guess that would equivalent to like a soft white. And so anyways, this fan also is an indoor outdoor fan, so you could mount it up underneath a porch or whatever, and you know, give you some air circulating on your porch or whatever. And so you won't have any saggy blades. So you know, if you're mounting something outside, you want to definitely make sure that it's indoor outdoor, so the blades don't sag over time and get all droopy. And you know, you want to make sure that it's sealed up where, you know, if it did get a little wet, it's not going to affect anything. And so this one is indoor outdoor rated. So another thing I wanted to mention was, I told you it had the 18 watt LED lights, but if for some reason you don't want the light, they do have a block off kit. So you know, it just smooths it over, and instead of having the globe right here, it just smooths it over with like a metal cover up piece. So you know, you don't have to have those lights on there. So it's not a big deal. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is the MAD 8152, and I'm going to go ahead and open things up. I have went ahead and cut the tape on the box, but I have not opened it up or anything. But I'm going to go ahead and pull everything out and get it set up on the table and show you all the different pieces. All right, guys, you can see that I've started unwrapping everything, and I've got to say, that's one thing that I've noticed about Fanimation is whenever you get one of their fans, everything is wrapped up nice and neat. I know that's not important to some of you, but you know, to me, when I order something in the mail and it takes, you know, a couple days to get here, I'm antsy to get it. And so I don't want to have to wait to put it up. I want it right then, and go ahead and get it up. So it's, you know, because I'm excited. And so I have noticed that with Fanimation, that, you know, they box everything up real nice, and you know, everything's got, you know, at least an inch of styrofoam around it, and then everything's usually wrapped once or twice in plastic. And so you can see I've got just a few parts right here laying out on the table, and you know, I've got quite a bit of plastic in there. So anyways, it is what it is. I guarantee you, probably when you get your fan, you won't have anything damaged. If you do, it'll be a total shocker. One thing I want to let you know before I forget is these fans come with like a limited lifetime warranty. So when you get the fan, make sure you go ahead and register your product and everything, so that way you can take part with that warranty. And it's got all kinds of pamphlets in there thanking you for buying the Fanimation fan, and then you got your manual. It tells you how to set everything up, and you know, basically tells you to read the instruction manual, and tells you, you know, the number for tech support. So if you need the tech support number, there it is. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish unboxing the second part of this fan, and I'll come back. One thing I wanted to go ahead and show you is the remote control that they give you, and you can see that this thing is got a lot of little buttons on there, and I'll explain what those are at the end of the video. Now it does come with the watch style batteries that fit into the remote control. So those are supplied. It comes with the wire nuts and all of the hardware that you're going to need to install the fan. And so there's nothing that's left out. You don't have to buy anything else. The only thing that you might have to buy would be a down rod if you want to lower the fan down from the ceiling and have it more on a rod. And you know, here it shows right here on the box, they've got all different kinds and different links. So it is what it is. You'll just have to check out their website. And let me unbox it and I'll come right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I opened the big box with all the brackets for the blades and the hanger and the motor and the light kit and the remote and all that kind of stuff. And you can see that I've got everything laid out here on the table that came in the box, and nothing was scratched. You can tell that the finish on these Fanimation fans is second to none. It's just, when you order a black fan, you're not just going to get some black spray painted looking fan. It really does look nice. The finish on everything is just immaculate. So I'm really happy with the finish on all of the fans that I've gotten from Fanimation. And this ain't no paid review. Ain't nobody telling me to say this. I just like the product because it's just a nice product. Everything about it screams high quality. And so, you know, that's what I was looking for. I like that more modern look. And so Fanimation was just the number one choice for me. So anyways, at the first of the video, I told you that this fan come in several different finishes and different blade lengths, and I opted for the 56-inch blades. But when you get the blades, they come separately. So the motor and housing and all that stuff comes in one box, and you know, I've opened that box, and then the blades comes in a separate box, and you can see they're labeled right here. You know, it's a blade set and they're 56-inch, and the blades are plastic. So by them being plastic, that's what makes them indoor outdoor rated. So the plastic's not going to sag and droop like a wooden or cardboard type blade like on some cheap fans. So I gotta say, I didn't know what to think about the plastic ones at first. You know, I didn't know if they would make them out of metal or whatever. But the one that's in my bedroom has plastic blades, and it's sturdy. It really is. It's really thick plastic, so I don't think you'd ever have any problems with those. And so, you know, if you did, it's got that limited lifetime warranty. So one thing I want to mention, if you're getting this fan, everything is, like I said, is well packaged. And not only that, but it's well labeled. You can see it's got a tag on here. It says blade holder to blade. Then right here it's got safety cable hardware, wire nuts, your sealing box hardware, your blade holder to motor, you know, and so it just makes it a lot easier. And here on this controller, everything is labeled, you know, by the color. And so it's really simple to install, and it tells you right here, this wire goes to the motor. You know, everybody knows the green or copper always goes to the ground. And so, you know, everything is just labeled nice and neat. So you shouldn't have any problems installing it. So just make sure you read your directions, make sure you cut the power off and all that. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to box number 2 and start unwrapping the blades. And I'll come back here in just a second. All right, I went ahead and unwrapped all the blades. They all come in their own individual plastic sleeve. None of them were damaged. And wanted to point out, these blades mount with 3 different pieces of hardware, bolts or whatever. And so, you know, to see that lets you know that this fan is made really good. And each blade also tells you there we go, this side up, so it's all labeled. And you know, these are the plastic blades, and you can tell they look really sharp, and they have a nice finish to them. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start reading through the directions, and I'm gonna go in here and take this ceiling fan down in the other room. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take this hideous looking thing down. I went ahead and pulled the turned the power off, and I'm gonna go ahead and take loose the trim piece up there around the top, and just drop the fan down, remove the old bracket, and then once I get everything out of the way, the old bracket and all the wires disconnected, then I'll move this fan out of the way, and then I'll install the new Fanimation bracket and then hook up everything that I need to get done. So just bear with me. All right, guys, I'm back. I've got the old ceiling fan down, and I removed the mounting bracket and everything, and all that's left up there is just the wiring and the ceiling bracket. And so I'm fixing to install the Fanimation bracket, this one here, and I want to go ahead and give you a tip. Let's say you're working over a bed like this. The way that you want to mount the bracket is with the opening cut out right here coming towards the ladder, and simply because whenever you get to put the fan up there in its place and you set the fan down into this little cradle in here, you don't have to reach around. You can just slide it from this side into the cradle. You don't have to stand on the bed to be able to put the fan into that little cradle area. So just remember that if you're putting it in the bedroom, make sure that the opening is facing towards you where you're working on the ladder. So like I said, you don't have to stand on top of the bed to put the fan into the cradle, or try to reach around off the ladder holding it with one hand, and you know, it'll just end up trying to kill yourself putting it in there. So make sure the opening comes towards wherever you're working. Just a quick tip. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this mounted up, and then I'll come back. All right, guys, you can see that I've got the new Fanimation bracket mounted up to the ceiling box, and I have your 3 wires coming down, and then you've got your ground that comes off the side of the Fanimation box. And what you want to do is, when you mount this box, try to mount it as center as you possibly can. And so mine lined up absolutely perfect, and I just tightened it down with a screwdriver. You can use a drill or an impact driver. Just make sure you don't over tighten it. You know, use some common sense. You don't want to crack the drywall or anything like that around where it's being mounted by over tightening or break anything. So just use common sense, and make sure your power's turned off. And we're gonna go ahead and read some more directions. All right, guys, I've skipped through a few of the steps, and you guys can look through here and in your instructions, and see how to assemble the down rod and all that. It's really simple. It's just I didn't want to make an hour-long video on stuff that you're going to read the instructions on anyways, because there's a few little things here and there that I can't video everything, because I know you guys don't want to watch an hour-long video. But anyways, I will tell you, once you get on your down rod and you put your different covers on here and plates and everything, and then this top plate, and you know, you've got your wires run through right here, it tells you to give yourself about 6 to 9 inches of wire, and so you cut off a lot of the old wire. So you can see right here, I went ahead and showed you how much wire I've cut off, and Fanimation is really generous. They give you quite a bit of wiring, and the reason they do that, and the reason you have to cut off so much, is because they have taken into consideration if you want to put a longer down rod here, so your fan is lower to the floor. you can install a longer down rod, and so you need that wiring to come up through the down rod, and so that's why they give you so much. So it says to allow yourself 6 to 9 inches. I always give myself 9, just so you have a little bit of extra wiring to work with. And one tip that will definitely help you is while you have the wiring down here on the ground, go ahead and take an extra minute or two and strip off the wiring on each wire here. Just go ahead and strip it off, and that way when you get up on the ladder, you're not trying to stand up there and trying to strip the wire with this hanging from the ceiling. It just saves you from being on the ladder as long, and it just literally takes a second. Now I'll go ahead and tell you the only tools that you'll need to install this fan. If you're just basic like me, I would have a set of wire cutters like these right here, just a generic set of wire cutters you can pick up at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever, and a Phillips head or a flat screwdriver. And the screws on all these that I've seen so far are made to where you can use a flat head or the Phillips. Now, I haven't got into some of these other hardware packets yet, so I'm not sure. It looks like they're let's see here. Yeah, it looks like these are the same way. It looks like you can use either a Phillips or a flathead on those. So as far as tools, you'll just need a set of wire strippers with the cutters and a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver, and if you tape measure, if you want to measure the 6 to 9 inches on the length of the wire, and if you want to cut all the wires at once, you can use some side cutters, but it's not necessary, and the tape measure is not necessary. You can kind of guess 6 to 9 inches. And if you're going to install the safety cable, then you'll need a wrench or a socket or whatever. I'm not going to install mine just simply because I'm using the shorter blades, and I don't never run the fan on high, and so I don't think it's going to get I just don't use them. Now, if I'm running a bigger fan, like their 64 or 72 inch on some of their fans are larger, then yes, I would definitely most recommend using the safety cable. But for me, on this fan, I'm not going to use it. So anyways, it is what it is. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead to the next step, and I'm going to go ahead and hang this fan, and I'm going to go ahead and get a little further along, and then I'll come back and show you my progress. So hang out with me. All right, guys, I've got the fan up here in the ceiling, and I got it setting right there in the cradle, and I'm fixing to go ahead and install the little receiver and get all the wires hooked up and everything. And once I get that all the wiring hooked up, then it's really simple after that, because you've already made all your connections and everything's nice and tight, and all you have to do is put on all the different covers and the blades and the light kit. And so it's a real simple installation, so just bear with me. All right, guys, as you can see, I've got everything wired up, and it's so simple, guys. Everything is so color coded. I mean, you go red to red and green to the bare copper, and there's several ground wires that you got to connect, and it's just simple. And so the hardest part is just routing the wires up there around that controller and fitting the wires up into the box, and that's the hardest part, is routing the wires. So allow yourself a good, I don't know, 15-20 minutes for all the wiring, and the more wiring that you can, like I told you earlier, the more that you can strip the wires down sitting at a table, the easier it's going to be. So when you get up there on the ladder, you're not having to try to cut the wires and strip them and all that. So it's better to prep before you get up on the ladder. But once you get to this step, then you're going to start assembling everything. And so we're almost done. All right, guys, I got the brackets put on the blades, and you can see that this main bracket here runs all the way down through here, and it just hooks onto the blade. And then this top piece is just a cover-up piece to cover up the hardware, and plus it makes it look good. So it just sandwiches that. And I'm going to take one in here, and I'm going to show you just what it looks like. So, all right, you can see that I've already gotten 3 up. And what you do is you just take this lip right there and you hook it into the bottom where those holes are, just like that, all the way around. And then once you get all the way around, it's all the blades are assembled. So just hang out just a little bit longer and we'll be done. All right, guys, we're back. We got all the blades on it, and as you can tell, it looks amazing already. And so we're fixing to install the little trim plate that goes right above the light kit, and then we'll be done. So just hang around. All right, guys, got the globe on there, and it's all complete, and I'm sure you want to see me go ahead and turn this thing on and run through the remote and all that, but hey, I want to make you watch a part 2. So make sure after you watch this video, you skip on over to watch part 2, and I'll show you what it looks like with it turned on and with the lights on and the fan on and all that good stuff. And then we'll run through the remote and all its features and all that. And so anyways, all right, see you guys in part 2.